clear?
Her car's gone. There's no movement to any of the windows.
All right, let's do it. Alberta McIntyre.
You want to knock on a neighbor's door first? Ask if anyone's seen her with a young blonde woman?
Well, since she was kind enough to vacate her apartment for us, I think we ought to have a look around first. That's a damn complicated lock for a little old innocent lady.
Maybe she has something to hide.
Let's find out.
So if you were Mrs. McIntyre and you just signed your young blonde cousin's corpse out of the morgue, wouldn't you have her picture out somewhere?
I think Mrs. McIntyre's got a more practical way of dealing with her grief. She goes shopping.
She's having a 50-inch television delivered tomorrow.
How do you suppose a woman who lives in an apartment like this can afford top-of-the-line stereo equipment?
What's the going rate for claiming the corpse of a stranger?
I'd say Mrs. McIntyre will tell you it's fairly lucrative.
So she claims the body of a Jane Doe drowning victim and it somehow ends up in the lake near where Carly crashed. How'd that happen?
Somebody paid her off. Somebody with the means and the motive to put the body in the lake and have it ID'd as Carly. Let's look around and find out if there's anything here that leads back to Port Charles.
Who are you?
And what the hell are you doing in my mother's apartment?
Step right in, boys. Step right in!
Who are you?
Ma'am, we are the very best news you've ever heard.
You, Alberta McIntyre, have just won the $1 million Magazine Warehouse Grand Prize! And that's not all. Tell her about our super special offer, Jim.
Our special offer, Bob? Would that be next week's or the current special?
You're the host of the show, your choice.
Oh, you gave me too much credit sometimes. Mrs. McIntyre, you have the super special chance to double that $1 million by answering a few easy questions.
Oh, this is like a miracle.
Yes, and your good friends here are welcome to play along.
Listen up, boys.
Feel free to throw her a lifeline if you feel so moved.
Isn't that a TV show?
Yes, who wants to be a smarty pants?
Yes, but what we have today in this living room
right now
is a super special brand new concept.
That's right.
Magazine Madness meets Instant Millionaire meets Weakest Lunk.
That's weakest link.
Oh, Jim, we've got some mighty smart contestants here today.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Right over here, boys. The three of you, let's see what this is going to look like. You are going to be on the cover of every magazine in the nation. Your name's all over the internet, and you'll be the stars of every talk show you've ever heard of.
And you'll both be in jail.
Why would you want to call the police, Alberta?
He's right, Mom. It's better off we get rid of them.
Banna?
So it was Alberta McIntyre and her boys who claimed the blonde in drawer 17.
That would seem to be the case.
But why would they do that?
The price was right.
It's got to be the reason. Who paid them? Who would do this?
A.J. Quarterman did this.
Dr. Creevy to X-ray.
Don't tell me you're surprised.
What do you know, Baldwin?
Well, who else had anything to gain by slipping a different body in Carly's coffin?
Yeah, Carly supposedly dying helps AJ, that's obvious.
Okay, we got motive. What about proof? You have any evidence that ties Junior into this?
Well, I resigned as AJ's attorney.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
Come on, let me finish, for crying out loud. AJ shows up at the brownstone. He wants to see Michael. I specifically advised him not to go after custody until we found out whether Carly was dead or not. I run him today. He starts talking about the body switch and implicating Carly. He's guilty, I'm telling you.
Well, confirming Carly's death is a good thing if he wants to file for custody. I mean, it's easily worth the price of providing an alternate corpse.
And he can afford the price.
That way the case is closed, everybody moves on with their lives, he files no questions are asked.
Bobby mourns a daughter that's not dead.
Why are you telling us this? Aren't you worried you're going to lose your license to practice or break a confidentiality?
You have a license?
I told you I resigned as AJ's attorney. I don't owe him anything. What's more important is how this body switch affected Bobby.
All right, I'm still listening for proof.
Well, we're going to have to find some proof.
Did he say we?
He did.
Listen, I've known your sister for a lot of years. You don't think that pain in her eyes affected me? I mean, this almost destroyed your sister, Spence. So cut the comedy, will you?
Well, the first step is to prove that AJ arranged to have the DNA switched, too.
Well, I do love the smell of payback in the air.
So, AJ had motive and means. We just need some proof.
We'll have to move quick and quiet on this. If he gets wind, he'll cover his tracks.
It'd be good to talk to the lab tech who ran the DNA test.
Dr. Balfrey to
Did Barbara tell you what that guy's name was?
No, and I didn't want to ask her. You know, she thinks this whole thing is over, and I don't want to bring up AJ until we have proof.
Well, you know, the data's accessible if we had a little diversion working.
Okay, you cover the computer and you work with me on this, all right?
We got a guy down. All right, what?
Gotta have some pain medication right away.
Let me get some names and numbers. Come on, come with me.
Maybe some
Come on, let's get some names over here. Watch out. Be good, just be drunk.
Ow, 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 you understand me? Ow!
You okay?
No, I think the pain medication's gonna kick in any moment.
This is Conrad. He runs the lab upstairs, don't you, Conrad?
I do, yeah. Mr. Baldwin said you wanted to speak with me?
Yes, we were hoping that you could settle an argument for us. Now, you know pretty much everything there is to know about forensics, right?
Well, I have helped bring a few felons to justice in my time, sure.
Well, then we've come to the right place. Now, according to my reading, DNA matching is pretty much foolproof, correct?
Well, nothing's foolproof, I'm afraid.
Okay, there you go. You see
Oh,
that?
here we go.
Well, you know, I don't have access to your reading, so I'm at a little disadvantage. Can't argue with the science. But as a practical matter, I believe there's too many human variables for the testing to be trustworthy.
Well, like I say, nothing's perfect, but DNA banding is a very important, highly reliable tool, believe me.
Let me ask you something, Conrad. How did you come up with Carly Corinthos' DNA after you just tested a total stranger?
I'm afraid I can't help you guys. I really have to get back to the lab.
What you have to do, Conrad, is tell us who paid you to falsely identify Jane Doe number 17 as Carly Corinthos.
And make it fast.
And let's make it the truth, huh?
Okay, I'll tell you. Everything.